Alright, so Mozzy just dropped Intrusive Thoughts 2. And although I'm not on this album, I actually had 3 songs with Mozzy on them drop within the past year. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be giving you all of the sauce in the game that I got to making hard Mozzy type beats. Now, one more quick thing before we do get into the video, I want to give a shout out to Julian Cannon, actually one of my favorite producers out right now. We kind of have similar styles when we start making these types of beats, but just the beats that he's been coming out with are just crazy, bruh. So I'll leave his Instagram in the description. Go follow, bro. What's up? My name is Devin, also go by Infinite or Prod by Infinite. I'm going to be breaking down 2 of these Mozzy type beats that I got. One that's more in the style of the Intrusive Thoughts 2, and another that's slightly different to it, but I feel like can match the vibe and actually have him on it. All right, so I never know if you guys like it when I play the beat first or not. So I'm going to play the beat first on this one, and then on the second one, I won't play the beat first.
Hey, go ahead, Infinite.
Alright, so tip number 1 is let inspiration come from anywhere. Funny enough, I actually started off this beat with vocals. I heard these vocals right here. Which is crazy because they're like Bollywood vocals if you look right here. But when I heard it, I was just like, man, these are hard, bro. Like, these are going crazy. So I took them and I chopped them up just so they're playing a little bit less frequently. And then I built the piano around it. And then that goes into tip number 2, which is dark pianos are your best friends for these types of beats. And a bonus tip if you can make it sound sad and dark at the same time. This one in particular, I feel like has a good mix of dark and sadness to it. I'll play the chords for you by themselves really quick. All right, so usually with the chord progression, I would kind of go something like this right here. But that just kind of comes off as dark. To get it a little bit more emotional, I added these 2 chords right here. This one right here is just a triad, but you're doing it on the note underneath the root note of your scale. So in this one, we're in F minor. That's why you see all of these notes right here highlighted, and you see the F right here. We're in the minor scale in the key of F. I think that's how you say it. I think that's the terminology of how you say it, bro. So I start one chord right here. You know what I mean? And then I start the next chord right here, and doing those 2 chords back to back is going to give you a real like emotional kind of feel. Why? I don't know, but it works and y'all can take that and run with it. You feel me? So to make the chord right here, all you do is just start off with 1 note right there, skip 1 note in the scale, hit the next one, skip that note in the scale, hit the next one. Boom. Now, if you want to take it up a level, you could take this root note right here, the first note that we started with, and you can copy it up 1 octave. It just kind of makes the chord a little bit bigger, feel a little bit more full, and it adds extra tones, which can give it more character. And then I did the same thing with this chord. I just made sure to start it on the one that's right above, like the, I don't know the numbers, man. I don't know the chord progression numbers, bro. Editor, if you know, please put a note on the video of like the chord progression here, but if you don't, just put like an IDK. And lastly, before we do move on to the next element of this beat, I'm going to show y'all the preset that I use. Just keyscape, the regular grand piano, and I got reverb right here for you, and some EQ. Nothing too crazy. Oh, and I also forgot to show y'all the effects for the vocals that I have. It's really just EQ, delay, and reverb. And with the delay, I right click right here and I hit create automation clip. That way I can have the delay come in and out as much as I want it to right here. But yeah, feel free to screenshot all those settings and everything like that, bro. Now, tip number 3 is that you want to have expensive elements to the beats. Now, what do I mean by expensive elements? What I mean by that is that you want to get a VST or a contact bank that has a really natural, realistic sound to it. For instance, we can look at Expand right here, which is a great VST, and it does have presets that you can use, and there is a time and place for them. But for the most part, like, the strings aren't the craziest. They're good, they'll get the job done. But if you upgrade to something like Bohemian Violin, or to something like the Balkan Ethnic Orchestra, it can greatly upgrade your beat because you're getting crazier sounds that are in there. Now, if you don't have those VSTs, don't worry, there's still other options for you. Definitely hit Arcade, definitely hit Splice, or definitely hit your favorite content creators kits, you feel me? This kit right here is a little bit older, but there's a lot of gems in here. So I did make sure to add like phrases for like synth leads, guitars, chords, choirs, and strings. So if you like the strings that you hear in there, I actually did use those VSTs to make cool little phrases like this right here. And the best part about it is that it's all royalty free. So I'll leave a link in the description for it if you need it. But with that being said, this is what the two strings sound like when they're stacked on top of each other. Now, tip number, was that 4? Yeah, okay. Tip number 4 is that accent sounds are going to be your companion. I didn't want to say friend again. I feel like I already said I didn't want to be repetitive, but you get me though. For instance, tubular bells are going to help you get a cool dark vibe with also adding a little cinematic undertone. Big word. Actually, 2 big words. Cinematic and undertone. I love using tubular bells all the time. It really just helps you get that vibe. Another thing that is great to use is a deep piano, something like this. Or what you could do is you can get creative and use things like a glass break or just anything else that comes to mind that could be cool for it. For instance, I use this glass break. I forgot what it was called. It was something on Splice. I just saved it on the side so I wouldn't have to open Splice every single time I wanted to add it. But if you just look up glass break on Splice, you'll be able to find something like this. And the last and final tip for this beat right here is going to be keeping your drums spacey and bouncy. Now we know for West Coast beats, you can always hit like a little 2-step like this. You know what I mean? But when it comes to these Mozzy type beats, it doesn't really work like that. A lot of the songs you're going to hear from him are going to have more bouncy, spaced out patterns like this right here. So I'm going to hit Shift D to make them all the same size of the cell. That way you can actually see how much space is in between every single hi-hat section right here. Now, a little sub tip, when you're making these hi-hat patterns, you have to just listen to the whole thing. So go right here and just place them one at a time. So go. You mean just go through the whole pattern and just do that the whole time. And then what you're gonna do at the end of it, this is where the real tip comes in, is that you need to delete some. Figure out one pattern or one section to delete. And that's really gonna help you make sure that your things are actually spacey and simple enough to allow the artist and the other drums and melodies to breathe. Because it's really easy to go in here and just be like, okay. You know what I mean? But it's like, it does sound cool, but it does get a little busy. So when you're done, just go in and just be like, what can I take out? I can take out that little roll right there. And then see, just deleting a little bit of it created so much more bounce and space in the pattern. And that was just kind of like a little mediocre attempt at it, just because I'm trying to do it really quick on the fly and just like improvising for y'all. But when you really take your time in creating the whole pattern and then deleting a little bit of it to create more space, it will greatly benefit your beats. Now, with that being said, let's get on to the second beat. Now on this beat, we're not really going to go through any tips. It's more just going to be a breakdown. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, once again, I found vocals and then I made the beat around the vocals. Just make sure when you're making beats, don't have this idea of like, I have to start with the melody first. I have to start with the drums first. I have to, like if you hear like a sound, like any sound and it inspires you to make a beat, just go run with it, bro. You don't have to like do chords first, do a melody first, do this first, do that. Just whatever tickles your fancy, bro. Nah, but like whatever piques your interest, is make sure to start with that for real. So I'll play the vocals for y'all real quick. Tough. Woo! Now real quick, I just have my vocal effect chain on this. It's really simple. EQ, delay, screenshot these presets, bro. Reverb, but I turned down the mix knob over here, and I just have like some panning, so it moves left and right and everything like that. But I just turned down the mix knob, so it's not fully going to the right, fully going to the left. It's just kind of like moving a little bit, you know what I mean? Now, once I got that vocal, I just got some chords to kind of like surround them. So I just got Lounge Lizard right here. And what I did was just make like a really simple chord progression, and I stacked it on top of each other. So if you just get rid of this, it's really just a triad, you know what I mean? It's like literally 2 chords, but you just kind of like stack things to make them bigger. So watch, boom, triad, boom, boom, boom. It's really 1 chord if you think about it. Then you just take it over, take this one right here, drag it down 1. We gotta turn that velocity down, I ain't gonna lie. And then you just stack it on top of each other. You know what I mean? Just so it sounds bigger than this right here. Tough. Then I just took those chords and I stacked it 2 other times. I just wanted to get everything really like ambient because I wanted the vocals to shine the most. So, oh, look at that. I got the dark pad from the Solstice Analog Lab Bank. I'll leave that linked in the description. Easily the best analog lab bank I've ever made for West Coast beats. You got 100 presets too, 104 to be exact. And then I layered it 1 more time with the 100 miles preset from the Solstice Bank. And here's what those 2 things sound like put together. Then next, I got the SRX piano, and I just laid down this like really simple pattern. Smooth. Then this wah right here is very synonymous with like Mozzy type stuff. Also, this wah right here is just a lot of like NorCal stuff. I just have one going 1 octave and the other going another octave. And then after that, that's all we really got melodically. So I just started going crazy on the drums. You know what I mean? Classic clap. Got this hi-hat right here from the E-Trizzle kit, which is available on gatekeepsounds.com. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a quick game real quick, just so y'all know how to do like little rolls like this, where it like goes down in pitch. All you do is like you just make a regular roll like however you would want. You can mess with the velocity however you want. This one specifically, I go down, you know what I mean? So you just go right click right here, hold down the right click, and then just drag down like that. And then you're gonna go right here to control, and you're gonna go to note fine pitch, and then you do the same thing. So you right click and you either go down all the way, maybe you go up, or what you could do is you could start up and then go down. That's how you make cool like little hi-hat rolls like that. Then I got a little short open hat right here from the E-Trizzle kit. You know what I mean? And it's really just following the 808s. This is the go-to spins from the Kelly Bounce Drum kit, which you can also get a free version of. You know what I mean? And then when you're making these patterns, when you're at the end, just go crazy. Go up an octave, go up 2 octaves. Go crazy, brother. If you want to get that sound right there, go to this grid right here and then switch it to 1/6 beat or 1/3 beat. It'll give you like that 1/3 triplet kind of sound. So as you can see, like the grid, if I hit Shift D, make it the size of the grid. This is a, what are we on? 1/3 beat, and you're just going down the scale. You know what I mean? Or you do something like this. Maybe something like this. Stuff like that. And then just a couple like little hi-hat rolls, a couple little perks, nothing too crazy. I kept this one simple for the most part. And with that being said, here's what the full beat sounds like. that being said, that's going to conclude the video. If you like the video, hit the like. If you want to comment, throw a comment. If you want to sub, hit the sub. My name's Devin. I'll just go by Infinite. Probably by Infinite. I'm out.